Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and today we are talking about the holiday 2019 Charlotte Tilbury Starry Eyes to Hypnotise palette. Mouthful! So this is what the palette looks like. Very reflective packaging, so I'm going to try not to blind you. You have 4 different trios here: Happy Glow, Love Glow, Dream Glow, and Seduce Glow. And this puppy does retail for $75, so no small amount of money. So if you're new to these videos or to my channel, welcome. And in these 7 look videos, I do 7 different looks, a week's worth of looks, if you will, with a palette to determine a lot of things. If it's worth the money, does it perform well, is it similar to anything, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get into the 7 looks, and this is the last one that I'm wearing today, and then at the end I will give you my final thoughts. do you think of this look? What did you think of the 7 looks? Do you have a favorite? Do you have a least favorite? Tell me down below. I honestly think that this might be my favorite look from the bunch. I don't know why I don't wear one shadow looks every single day, because whenever I do, I'm super freaking happy with it, especially when it's a shimmer like this one. This blended out beautifully, and let's move on to the review and stop talking about this look. I also wanted to mention that all of the Lippies for each of the looks will be listed down in the description box below in case you're curious. You do only get 3 mattes in this palette. You get this sort of warm camely brown that I used in the transition today. You get this somewhere between mauve and berry pink, and this, I think it's navy blue, but it definitely can pull black on the eye if you want it to, and it works really well for that. The mattes, these two I love. This one, in all honesty, can lean a little patchy depending upon how you apply it and the type of brush that you use and so on. When I was using like a dense, like more, this brush actually specifically, a dense brush to pack on a depth in the outer corner, it definitely was a little patchy, but then when I blended it out with a fluffier brush and whatnot, it worked just fine. But you should know that. There is one trio right here that is all shimmer shades. And I actually loved the green look that I created with this trio. That did not bother me whatsoever. Obviously, I have a shimmer in my crease and transition today, but just to lay that out for you, there are definitely 3 different formulas in this palette from what I can determine. We talked about the matte. All the rest, I would say, are shimmer to metallic formula, except for this one right here, which is the Seduce Glow Prime shade. If you're not familiar with Charlotte Tilbury, she frequently does trios, and when she does, you have a prime shade, an enhance shade, and a smoke shade, and she suggests applying them in that order, but you can do whatever you want. Anywho, so this one right here, though, I would actually call more of a topper or glitter formula. It's glittery and it's beautiful. I love that they included that in a holiday palette. In terms of longevity, I didn't have any problem with these staying on my eyes for the entire day. That being said, I use like the King Kong of eye primers that I discovered recently thanks to my friend Kelly from Glam with Kelly. It's the Ulta brand matte eye primer in the shade Nude, and this stuff will keep your eyeshadow on all freaking day. In terms of ease of use, that is definitely the biggest pro to this formula and to this palette. In case you haven't seen this, same as the eyeshadows in the Instant Look palette. These are so easy to use. You could absolutely apply the entire eye look with your fingers, and if that's something that you would like me to do, I'd be happy to film that for you. But the main pro with this palette is just how easy to use it is. Not only is the formula easy to use, but when it's set up in trios like this, it takes sort of the thought process out of it if you're in a hurry. And that's why I've been reaching for the Instant Look in a palette so much, is because there's only 3 shades of eyeshadow in there. And yes, you can use the blush and all of that on your eyes, but if I'm looking for a quick look and I'm looking for a more mauvey pinky tone, I reach for that every single time, and now I can do that with this palette as well. I think all of these looks, as they're broken up in their trio, are extremely wearable in my opinion. Of course, wearable is relative, but I wouldn't hesitate to go to parent-teacher conferences in any of these looks. I also think that the trios and how this is put together is definitely what makes this palette unique to my collection. And ultimately, who do I think this would be ideal for? 100% someone who likes doing the same eye looks over and over, needs to have the guesswork taken out of putting together colors to get an eye look and get out the door. That being said, I cannot tell you whether this palette is worth it to you or not. For me, the $75, which came out of my bank account, even though it was a gift from my husband, it's our bank account. For me, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. While I love putting on my makeup, I look forward to it every single day. But I do have a lot of occasions where I need to be out the door early in the morning or what have you, or I'm on the weekends, you know, if we're doing something as a family or going somewhere, I don't want to make everybody wait for an hour or more while I do a very intricate eye look. And I think this, as well as the Instant Look in a palette, which I will link the video in which I did a full face with that palette, I think this is exactly what I need. Do you need it? Absolutely not. This is not a need. This is definitely luxury. But if you are that person that I described who is frequently in a hurry, needs an easy look and an easy formula that's easy to apply, this could be a palette for you. That being said, there are plenty of other palettes out there that could be used in a similar way. They're just not going to be set up like this in trios, taking that guesswork out completely. I think another option to this is if you have a collection of single shadows, build yourself a little Z palette of trios, you know, really easy, you know, just neutral, what have you. Just build yourself a little palette with trios in there that you can just pull out on the days you need to get out the door, and bada bang, bada boom, you have a look. Side note, what do I think of the mustard yellow nails? I can't decide if it looks like I have gangrene or if it's trendy, but I've been looking for a mustard nail polish. Little side note, I hope you guys enjoyed these 7 looks, and I hope you know that you don't need this palette to create those looks. These are pretty common shades. Most of us probably have these in our collection, so like I said, you don't need this palette. You could absolutely build yourself a little palette. You could look through the palettes that you own and sort of determine, like predetermine little trios that you could use in a pinch. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed these 7 looks. If you did, you could give this video a thumbs up. That really helps me out. I do appreciate each and every single one of you who watches my videos. And with all of that said, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful, starry-eyes, hypnotize makeup days. And I will see you in my next video real soon. Highly caffeinated.